Morning everyone, this is Swati and I'm going to take you through the guidance on the assessors dashboard for CII ITC Sustainability Awards. You all must have already received the login details which has come to your mailbox giving you the username and password. Please log into your respective accounts using this username and password. Some of you are facing problems with respect to the username or password with a message coming in as incorrect password. That is happening because you must be copy pasting the username and password. So the request is that don't copy paste your username and password. Please type in the username and password. We know that the password indicated in your mails are a little complicated. The reason is that they are system generated password. You can change these password and you can give your own choice of password once you click on the forgot password link which is available on the assessor's dashboard once you log into the page. So once you log into the page, you are taken to the assessor's dashboard which is this page. Here you will see the list of applicants that have been allocated to you and to your team for assessment. So starting from the left hand column, as you can see on the left hand side is the column which is the applicant column. This gives a list of all the companies that have been allocated to your team for assessment. There can be a maximum of 3, a maximum of 4 and a minimum of 3 companies allocated to each assessor and to each team. The next column after the applicant column is the classification column. This gives an idea about which turnover classification that particular application belongs to. So whether it's turnover classification A, B, C, D, E or F. F is a unit level application. The column next to classification column is applied for column. This basically gives information that which is the award category that the application has been applied for. So as you know, there are 2 main award categories, corporate excellence and domain excellence. If an application is filled in for the domain excellence, then under domain excellence, which sub award category the applicant has applied for will get indicated. So for example, here the third application you can see is for sustainable supply chain, which is a domain excellence application. The next column against the applied for is submission date. This basically gives the date on which the application was submitted by the applicant. This date will keep on revising after every stage. So once as a team you have submitted your consensus, this submission date will change to the date when the consensus for your team has been submitted. The column next to submission dates, there are 3 columns as you can see. They basically give the scores of the application. The first column is the preliminary screening score. This is an auto-generated score which we had mentioned to you during our training program. This score is given to each and every applicant basis the information given by them on the objective questions. So that is why this is a preliminary score. Against this is the desk assessment score. This desk assessment score is the score which will be allocated to each and every application after the desk assessment for that particular application is complete, which means that after the consensus for your application has been submitted, there will be a score which will come here, which will be the desk assessment score. The next column is the site assessment score, which is the FS column. This will give the score of the consensus submitted after the site visit. So this is the final score which will be given to the applicant by all of you. After this, there is a column on current status. This basically gives information whether what stage the application is in. So there are various stages which the applicant or the application is going to go through. The moment you're going to log into your respective accounts, you will see all the applications in the status of desk assessment team assigned, which means that a particular application has been assigned to a particular team. The moment any assessor starts reviewing or assessing the application, the status of that application will change to desk assessment in progress. after the assessment has been completed, which means the consensus assessment, and that has been submitted by the team lead, the stage will change to qualified for site assessment or not qualified to site assessment basis the score that application is going to get. So this is just to give you an idea that what is the stage your application is in. Against this, you see a process status column, which is again in relation to the current status. So this basically is like a bar chart, a bar graph, which gives the information on how much progress has been made on a particular application. So once one application has been completed fully for the assessment, including the site visit and the consensus for site visit has been completed, this process status will become 100%. Now against this, the last column is the actions column. This is the most important column for all of you from the assessment point of view, because this has various action buttons listed here. You can just put your cursor on each action button and see the definition of each action item. So for example, the first action item is the view desk assessment team. If you click on this, you can see that for that particular application, what is the team that has been allocated to you. So in a way, you can see what is your team composition, and within your team, who is the team lead. In this pop-up box, you can also see that against each of the assessor names listed, there is a view assessment or assessment pending status which is going to get reflected. Till the time assessment has not been completed by an individual assessor, the status will keep on showing as assessment pending. So if we look at this application, we see that for the first assessor, there is assessment pending, which means that the assessment for this assessor has not been submitted yet. However, for the next two assessors, the assessment has been submitted, and that is why it is changed to view assessment. Now, it's very important to note here that as an assessor, unless you have submitted your assessment, you will not be allowed to view the assessment of your peer assessors, even if they have submitted it. So it's important that you need to submit your assessments in order to view the assessment of your peer assessors, including that of the team lead. The next to the view assessment team details is the desk assessment action item. When you click on this item, action item, you are taken to the desk assessment interface of that particular application. Now this is the interface which you will be using to put in your assessment results, that is validation of the descriptive questions as well as writing your assessor's view. The landing page for desk assessment interface is the instruction page. This has various instructions listed here. It's very important that you read each and every instruction carefully in order to understand what you need to do and how you need to conduct the assessment for a particular application. There are two very important documents which are available on the instructions page. The first is the awards questionnaire template. This is a blank awards questionnaire template including all the questions which are part of the awards questionnaire. So once you click on this link, you will be given access to an online awards questionnaire which looks like this, which will have the details of each and every aspect and the relevant questions under each and every aspect with the options available under each and every question. This questionnaire will also give details on the validations which are available for the descriptive questions. So this is a reference document that you can keep referring to for the options listed under each question. The third point gives a detailed guidance document to the assessors. This is something which was requested by all of you during the training program to give you a guidance on how each and every question should be assessed and what is it that the assessor need to look at for each and every question while assessing a company. So this guidance document is going to get uploaded on the instruction page soon. Once you click on this link, you will be again given a PDF document which looks like this, the assessor's guidance document. It starts with the guidance on the assessment, what is the basis of sustainability excellence framework. You can go through that. Then what are the attribute definitions? And then there is a section which gives the definition of each and every indicator or question which forms part of the award questionnaire. So section F is the section which you can refer to for the guidance on each and every question and what as an assessor you need to look at while assessing a particular question in the questionnaire. Towards the end of this guidance document, there are two sections. One is the glossary section which you can refer to on the abbreviations or on any terminology which is used in the guidance document as well as the questionnaire whose reference you want. After the glossary, there is a section which gives the details on how the scoring is being done. All the old assessors are already aware of the scoring methodology. The same scoring has been implemented in the web tool and a description of the same is provided in the scoring section of this guidance document. After the scoring section, there is one section giving some details on how to form the assessor's view. This is exactly the same guidance that we had given you during our training programs. So you can keep referring to this document while you are assessing the applications for assessment, both during the desk assessment as well as site assessment. Another important points which are mentioned on the instruction page is one's to do with the session timeout. So as you can see, there is a session timeout clock which appears on the right hand side of the page. You can see that this is the clock which is ticking as per the seconds. It's a 30-minute clock, which means that every session is available for 30 minutes if not saved. Once you save a session, the clock automatically gets revised to 30 minutes. It's very important that you need to save your work manually because this interface or the web tool doesn't have an auto-save feature inbuilt in it. So while you're assessing, which means while you're validating your descriptive questions and while you're writing the assessor's view, please keep saving your work. And if you don't save your work, whatever you have inputted or selected in the interface will not get saved automatically and it will be lost after 30 minutes. There are other various points mentioned in the instruction place. Please refer to them. An important point which is mentioned on the, which is the last point mentioned is the submission date, which is 26th August. Please ensure that all your consensus assessment is completed and submitted by 26th August. After 26th August, this page will not be available for assessment. It will automatically get logged and there is no extension to the date of 26th August. Coming to the assessments, there are various sections which are listed. This is something that we have already shown you during the training program. So section A to section E are the sections which are meant only for context building of the company. So you can go through these sections, understand the business of the company, the product portfolio, employee information, shareholding pattern, everything is listed here. Once you are on section F, you need to read the information provided by the company for the objective questions. So all the objective questions as you see here are already logged. You cannot make any changes to the objective questions. You can just look at the information provided by the company and understand the case of the company. Wherever there are descriptive questions, there is an arrow sign which will appear on the left-hand column of that question. So if you see CG17, it's a descriptive question. There is information that will be given by the company on the initiatives taken by the nomination committee. You can see there is an arrow sign here. Once you click on this arrow, the various validations which are available for this question are listed here. Based on the information given and based on your assessment, please click on the most appropriate validation as you think is appropriate for that particular applicant. Click on that validation, press the validate button, close the box, and only then you will be allowed to move forward. If you're on the validation box and if you choose the validation, but if you don't press on the validate button, your validation will not get saved. So it's very important that you press the validate button in order to save the validation that you have checked for that particular question. Similarly, look at all the descriptive questions which are listed under each and every aspect and choose the validation. In each aspect, there is, if you see on the bottommost left-hand side corner, you will see two boxes. The topmost box is the assessor's view. This is a box where you need to type in your assessor's view individually as well as after consensus has taken place. This box allows 750 words in text form. It is a simple text. You cannot insert bullets or numbering. So you write your assessor's view here. As we have mentioned during the training program, we have left it entirely to the assessors to decide how they want to form their assessor's view in terms of strengths and opportunities to excel. If you want to include them in one paragraph, that is also fine. If you want to segregate them as strengths and opportunities to excel, you can do that also. So utilize this box to write your assessor's view. It's mandatory that every aspect has an assessor view. You will not be allowed to submit your work until unless you put the assessor view for each and every aspect relevant for that questionnaire. Please, once you have inputted your assessor's view, it's important that you save the assessor's view and then close the box. The next box just below the assessor's view is additional information box. This is a box which is available in read-only mode because this is the information given by the applicant for that particular aspect. So this is an additional information given by the applicant in addition to the answers that it has given to the objective questions and the answers to the descriptive question. So please read the information given here by the applicant. So once you have completed your assessor's view and validation for all the company, all the aspects, you can go on review and submit sheet. This is a summary sheet which gives you an information on the aspect level status summary, basically telling you that how many, if there are any pending validations which are listed here, and if there are any assessor's view which are still pending. So this summary is important because until unless you have all the pending validations as 0 and all the assessor's views submitted, you cannot submit your desk assessment. Going back to the assessor's dashboard, the third action item is that of the preliminary report. This is a report that we have used with you during all the exercises that we did during the assessor's training program. Once you click on this icon, a preliminary report for that particular application will get downloaded. It will be in a PDF format, and as you can see, there is a table of content which you can refer to, and then it starts with section A. So all the information given by the company is given here. The difference between this report and the desk assessment interface that you saw is that section F in this report is structured as strengths, opportunities to excel, information gaps, assessor's view, and so on. While in the assessor's interface online, that structuring is not done. So you can also refer to this report. You can download it, print it, keep reading it in your free time. to understand the company. This is just similar to the application documents which we used to send to you till last year. So if you go on section F, you can see that under each aspect, indicators have been structured either as strengths or opportunities to excel, and descriptive questions. Under descriptive questions, information given by the company will appear along with the validations that are available to you as an assessor to choose. So here also you can click on the validation and you can log on to the interface once to select the validation there. Then there is a section on information gap. So if there is any information gap, which means any question which has not been answered by the company and the company has selected no information available, that particular question will appear under information gap. Additional information, if the company has given any additional information for a particular aspect, will appear here. Assessor's view for preliminary report will be blank because it has not been captured yet. This assessor view will get captured in the next level of preliminary report, which will be the desk assessment preliminary report. So you can keep referring to this report. Our suggestion is that you download and print these reports and keep it with you for assessment, and you assess the application on these reports, and then finally you can log into your assessor's dashboard and you can just click on the assessor's desktop interface and you can check on the relevant validations and type in your assessor's view. Just against the preliminary report, in some of the applications which have already been submitted for desk assessment, here if you see the third application, there is a fourth action item which is appearing, which is the desk assessment preliminary report. Now, desk assessment preliminary report is a report which is a revision of the preliminary report. So, revision means that all the validations that as a team you have chosen for the descriptive questions, they will get classified as either strengths or opportunities to excel, as well as the assessor's view of the team will get recorded in this desk assessment preliminary report. This report will be available after you have submitted your consensus assessment, and this report can be referred to when you go for site assessment of a particular application. There will be a third preliminary report which will also start appearing after you have submitted the site assessment consensus of a particular application. That will include the consensus results of the site assessment. So all the revisions that will happen in the question based on the assessment that you're going to do for a particular application will appear in the site visit preliminary report. That will be the final report, which will also get converted into the feedback report for that company. So this is how the assessor dashboard looks like, and these are the various functionalities which are inbuilt. Please use all the functionalities, explore, and see if you face any problem. We will be available to take up your questions after the webinar also. In case if you are finding any difficulty in terms of login or in terms of accessing the dashboard, or if you don't understand anything while doing the assessment, please get in touch with us. You have my direct landline number and Jayashree's number, so please get in touch with us, and wish you all the best for assessment. Thank you very much.